on the way into the infield area. So the Momo Nissan has got a problem. The V6 machine, the turbo car, having a problem as the leader is starting another lap here at Silverstone. Number 83, the Nissan of Peter Sowerby. He raced already today here at Silverstone. He raced in one of the 1981 Williamses in the FIA historic Formula One race, and he will be a very, very tired bunny by the end of the day. There is the aforementioned Nissan. It's come to a, well, not quite a grinding halt, but a bit of a slow, sad halt as it gets pushed away towards the support race pits.
Yes, that's just before Priory, so there'll be a yellow flag right on the edge of Bridge Corner, which will limit overtaking into Priory. But yeah, a place of comparative safety. Peter Sowerby, though, as you say, really has worked hard today. Formula One car, Group C sports car, he is living the dream. Mike Wild's another man pushing hard. He's lapping very quickly and consistently. Just look how hard he's working behind the wheel.
They have to give them a big steering wheel just to hang on.
They do, particularly at the quicker corners. There's lots of steering input required. Following him down the hangar straight, you can see the front of the car bobbling up and down.
And the other thing that is, we mustn't forget about this David Leslie Memorial race here at Silverstone is that the pink Porsche that we were riding on board with Mike Wiles, of course, a former Richard Lloyd racing car. Now then, the leader of the cars that have not stopped is still, of course, Peter Sowerby, because he leads this race. The leader of the cars who have stopped is this car here, we believe. No. Maybe the Buncombe car. Well, let's just wait for him to get over the line. So yes, this is the car that has stopped and gone back out again, Chris Buncombe. So he's going to be very strong by the time things shake out. Still, we need to keep an eye on Sowerby and Lockley, and Sowerby is in the pits. Sowerby's in the pits, so Callum Lockley, his heart will be beating, and we've got 37.5 minutes remaining here. And now we start the clock. 4 minutes starting now, Rob.
Okay, so the watch has started. Driver's door opens, driver gets out, and then they'll close the door and plug in for fuel. So all nice and relaxed. As we've said, Toby, there's no rush. This is just for safety reasons. There's so much fuel knocking around the pit lane, we cannot take any chances. So these guys using the 200-litre fuel dump churn. One of those hoses is to let the fuel in. One of the hoses to let the fuel out. The dead man opens the handle. You can see the fuel flow down the hose, and it's coming into the car now. As you say, flowing in, taking on board about 85 litres. Should be taking about half a minute then to get all that fuel on board.
And they've actually nicked a towel out of the hotel. I hope the hotel manager is not listening. But they've actually nicked a towel out of the hotel, doused it in water, just in case there is a very small amount of fuel dropping out of the end of that hose, dropping on the bodywork. Because right underneath the bodywork, right underneath the filler, and don't forget it is, of course, a Daytona filler, it's on the left-hand side of the car, is, of course, the turbo running at about 1,000,000 degrees Celsius. It's hotter than the centre of the sun, I would imagine.
Yeah, the two things that don't go well together are fuel and turbocharger. You've got the exhaust down there as well, Toby. And coming out of club, wow, just look at that. Two silk-cut Jaguars running together almost nose to tail as they come down towards Abbey.
Well, we've got the silk-cut Jaguars here. It's a shame that we haven't quite got a Rothmans Porsche. There is a Shell Dower Porsche, or a Porsche in the pits. Very evocative colour schemes, as John was saying earlier, and still very much part of British motor racing folklore on the other side of the channel.
So I think that might be Andy Wallace now at the wheel of number 3. That's the first car that we're looking at, the one with the yellow highlights on. Just waiting for a cutaway to the car so we can get a little bit closer. Andy has a very distinctive crash helmet with a red and blue logo on the front.
Yeah, and he's got, it's Andrew Marriott back on the commentary. He's got the AW built into that special swirly stripe on his crash helmet. So the two Jaguars running together here. But two different engines, one with a V12 screaming away and one with a V6, and even in the commentary box we've got double glazing. We can hear the difference in the sound of those cars as they come by, but I think not only myself but all my colleagues prefer the V12.
The V12, both in the back of the sports car and the back of a Formula One, was always a hugely evocative, very, very distinctive noise. And wow, look at this. We've got Mike Wilds, we've got Andy Wallace. There's just legends everywhere you look. Fever.
Yeah. Yeah, Fever. And Mike Wilds, of course, is no. Now, I ran Mike Wilds, or no, I didn't quite run Mike Wilds in a Formula 3 car in 1970. That tells how old he is these days. Still flies a great helicopter, as you said, Rob. But these, see the evolution also of the logo silk car. And there's another car which isn't racing today, which is in the paddock display for